This Week in Connecticut with Dennis House starts now.
Welcome to This Week in Connecticut. Greetings, everyone. I'm Dennis House. Straight ahead today, from tunnels to Social Security, we sit down with Congressman John Larson as he kicks off a campaign for a 14th term. Then, remember this guy? A Republican who almost won 10 years ago. So what is next now for Tim Herbst? Plus, is your electric bill going up? We talked to Doug Horton of Eversource, who says state lawmakers can stop the increase. And laughing during middle school, cardiologist Jason Ryan on the lighter side of becoming a doctor. With us now is the congressman from the 1st District of Connecticut, John Larson. Congressman Larson, great to see you here.
Good to be with you, Dennis.
Let's talk a little bit about what do you think the biggest problem facing America right now is?
I think the biggest problem facing America right now, from my perspective, is that kitchen table issue over what does my future look like. And that's why I'm so embedded with Social Security and making sure that we take the nation's #1 insurance program, #1 anti-poverty program for the elderly, #1 anti-poverty program for children, and make sure that we not only protect it, but we expand it. Why? We haven't done anything to enhance Social Security as a Congress since 1971. Richard Nixon was President of the United States. Dennis, 10,000 baby boomers a day become eligible for Social Security, and this program hasn't been enhanced since 1971. And if Congress does nothing by 2033, it'll decrease by 20% across the board.
People are living longer. We have older presidents and older presidential candidates. Yes. Do you think that people should work longer, that retirement ages should be extended?
Some people can, and that's a blessing that they're able to do so. But there's a lot of people who can't. But the other side of that coin is this. So let me get this straight. You're living longer, so we're going to raise the age. Well, for every year you raise the age, that's a 7% cut in benefits. So the proposal by our colleagues on the other side to raise the age to 70 is a 21% across the board. You're living longer, and what's the average Social Security benefit? $18,000 for a male, $14,000 for a female, and hold on, 5 million Americans get below poverty level checks having worked and paid into the system.
The average citizen out there thinks that nothing's getting done in Congress right now, and Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro said that in her judgment this is the worst Congress she's ever been a part of. Do you agree?
Well, Rosa would know best because of her position on appropriations, and what a blessing. But she was there saving programs for us in this most recent negotiation to keep government open. Imagine that, Dennis, having a conversation about just keeping government open. But not only that, she was able to make sure that monies got into the programs that I believe that Republicans deep in their heart know and care about. But these are extraordinary times that we're dealing with. And up until, just keeping government open, this isn't doing the normal work and passing the things that need to be done. I would agree with her from that perspective.
I want to talk a little bit about some of your projects that you've been working on, and one of them is transportation in the greater Hartford area, and the biggest choke point is I-91 and I-84 right outside our studios here.
Yes.
What do you think should be done? Where does it stand right now in terms of the project that's moving forward?
Well, I commend the governor and the Department of Transportation for putting in the money. They got the initial funding that we need, and the Biden administration's focus in that case was on particularly on highways, et cetera, and transportation issues that have to be multifaceted and together, but also that have created isolation like we see in North Hartford that you can see from here, and also looking across the river what it did to displace a whole community in East Hartford where we now have the Mixmaster. So again, one of my top goals in terms of infrastructure was the I-84 and 91 interchange. The #3 congested truck traffic in the country is on the Buckley Bridge. And depending upon who you listen to, either 11 or 19 nationally in terms of the most congested highway. And also the lack of a more than 50-year goal by the part of riverfront recapture to recapture our riverfront on both sides of the river, and then also the isolation, as I pointed out, that's occurred in North Hartford in separating what once was a very vibrant neighborhood in this area and isolated it. So the goals have got to be to make sure that we end the isolation, open up the reconnectivity, and do it. Now, I have been a long-time favor of tunneling, etc., but the DOT is saying they think they can cap over a lot of places, etc. They're still in the final throes of studies that are going on. We just recently got them another $2 million to do that, and I think that this is going to be important for this region long after these won't be done until the 2030 or so, but it's an important thing to do, and that we don't repeat the mistakes of the Eisenhower administration back in the 1950s.
So it looks as if, in your judgment, we're going to have some sort of a hybrid tunnel thing, part tunnel, part capped over, part exposed, right?
Yes, that's what I think they're proposing. But we're not satisfied with, they still haven't showed us exactly what they're going to do with North Hartford and East Hartford and how they're going to connect. But some of the initial proposals to extend Route 2 up and create another bridge across into Hartford and have 91 come down, and before going into the city, be able to get on Route 2 and go into Glastonbury, as well as another bridge from East Hartford to Hartford. Those are going to be critical, etc., and also taking the load that the Buckley Bridge has and, eliminating the concerns that have been laid out.
So 20 years from now, we're going to have a completely different layout.
I would hope so.
Within 20 years.
Within 20, I would hope so.
Let's talk a little bit about the need to have more manufacturing jobs in this region. Tell us about that.
Well, what we're most proud of, and I got to thank Joe Courtney and Rosa DeLauro, my colleagues, Rosanna Probst and Joe in the Armed Services. We were able to, this has been, Dennis, decades of fighting to make Pratt & Whitney sole source provider of the F-35. And what that means to this area in terms of manufacturing, whether you're a small business like GKN or, Jarvis Airfoil in Portland, these are the important jobs that grow the economy in this region. And also, the F-35 is the most sophisticated jet fighter that we have in our arsenal. And so to expand that and to get additional money and to make sure it's sole source, which means it's people from this region and the small businesses from this region and across this country, but it's intensified right here because of Pratt & Whitney and the small businesses that we have. So we're very proud of that.
Congressman John Larson, always great to see you here in the program.
Always good to be here with you, Dennis. Thanks.
Thanks for your time. Coming up, a once rising Republican is talking with us, and later, higher electric bills when we come back.